Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some of the stocks on the move today. We're joined by Bloomberg's Bailey Lipschultz. Bailey, what are you looking at?
Yeah, I want to start with ASML, the semiconductor name, under pressure. ADR is down more than 5% in U.S. trading. One of the worst performers alongside the likes of NVIDIA and AMD. This comes after ASML reported first quarter bookings that were below what Wall Street was looking for. Management team was talking up 2026 as a growth year, so normally not the kind of strength that you want to see. The one thing that did stand out from the earnings call and some of the commentary is, as of now, they're saying that tariffs haven't fundamentally changed their planning or discussions that they're having with customers, but they are continuing to monitor the situation. It is evolving, obviously, on a day when NVIDIA's under notable selling pressure after restrictions around its H20 chips being shipped to China. All eyes are on what's going on in the semi space, and obviously a lot of jitters, just given, broadly speaking, the run-up that we've seen in the last few years. Yeah,
we're really seeing a lot of their peers taking it to the chin. We got the NASDAQ down about 1.9% right now. You're also looking at Interactive Brokers. What's going on there?
Yeah, this company reporting earnings, they trade under the ticker IBKR, down right now more than 9%, almost 10%. This comes after their EPS fell short of what analysts were looking for. They blamed analysts are blaming the slide on their net interest income and higher expenses coming in below what analysts were looking for. The one thing that did stand out looking through some of the notes was the fact that they were seeing an issue around margin balances. And obviously companies like IBKR and some of the other peers like Robinhood or Schwab benefit when people are trading stocks. Market volatility, though, in some of their ability to generate profits from loaning out those shares or people taking on debt to trade stocks, obviously being heavily impacted so far in the wake of Donald Trump's tariff kind of unveiling in the trade war that we've seen.
But it seems like, the retail traders are still trading. I've heard, you talk to Eric Balchunas on the ETF side from Bloomberg Intelligence. He says the funds keep flowing in despite the declines in a lot of, stocks and bonds and so on.
Yeah, we had a story. I had a story out yesterday, basically, that a lot of these individual investors don't care, and they view the sell-off as a reason to continue to buy the dip. The one thing that stood out to me was some data from JP Morgan said that retail investors, this was through Monday's close, since the tariffs were unveiled on April 2nd, had pumped almost $18 billion into the market. Wow. So a lot of
big numbers we're working with.
Yeah, exactly. The interesting thing is just the kind of vision that a lot of these individual investors have, that they don't really care. They think that stocks eventually will go back up. And
over the last 15 years, they've been right.
Right.
Exactly. And that's really the thing.
That's the thing. So you're also looking at JB Hunt, correct?
Yeah, so the size and scope is tough for most stocks, just given the volatility. JB Hunt, which is in the trucking space, down more than 8%, trades under the ticker JBHT, trading at the lowest level since November 2020.
Wow.
So when you look at trucking and kind of the idea that transports help drive the U.S. economy, when you're seeing the impact from tariffs, you're seeing the broader economy weighing on trucking stocks, again, missing expectations. They kind of blamed, obviously, macro uncertainty, rates pressure, but analysts really souring on the stock, slashing price targets. And again, you're looking at a company that right now down more than 8%, but over the last 12 months down 32%. So one of the losers on a broader kind of stroke.
If you're calling for slower trade, and again, we had the World Trade Organization today cut their outlook significantly for world trade. And maybe you're not going to be trading as much with your two closest neighbors, Canada and Mexico.
It's really
that's a tough thing if you're a big nationwide trucking company.
Exactly. And it's been looking at it, even looking through some of the notes, like even though intermodal loads rose 7.6% year over year, they basically have been worrying about running the business, and they're actually cutting their CapEx spending. So trying to tighten the belt. Not only are we seeing consumers do that, but a number of companies now trying to kind of assess the landscape and rein in their own spending.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.